Welcome. Today we will be reading Lesson 356 in the workbook, and from the text, Chapter 31, Section 3, The Self-Accused. And now for Lesson 356. Sickness is but another name for sin. Healing is but another name for God. The miracle is thus a call to Him. Father, you promised you would never fail to answer any call your Son might make to you. It does not matter where he is, what seems to be his problem, nor what he believes he has become. He is your Son, and you will answer him. The miracle reflects your love, and thus it answers him. Your name replaces every thought of sin, and who is sinless cannot suffer pain. Your name gives answer to your Son, because to call your name is but to call his own. The purpose of sickness is to separate and divide. What is one and cannot be divided. Thus, sickness is an illusion, requiring forgiveness and healing. It is a call to the one which provides correction. One is assured that if one asks, one will receive. For love has provided an answer to all of one's requests. The reply of a miracle but proves love's presence, being witness to a power outside the laws of time and space. And the love that one is exchanges all thoughts of sin with innocence. For what is complete and pure cannot suffer pain. In love's name is one's true self acknowledged, for the call to love is but one's own. And now for our text reading for today, from Chapter 31, Section 3, The Self-Accused. Only the self-accused condemn. As you prepare to make a choice that will result in different outcomes, there is first one thing that must be overlearned. It must become a habit of response so typical of everything you do that it becomes your first response to all temptation and to every situation that occurs. Learn this and learn it well, for it is here delay of happiness is shortened by a span of time you cannot realize. You never hate your brother for his sins, but only for your own. Whatever form his sins appear to take, It but obscures the fact that you believe them to be yours, and therefore meriting a just attack. Why should his sins be sins, if you did not believe they could not be forgiven in you? Why are they real in him, if you did not believe that they are your reality? And why do you attack them everywhere except you hate yourself? Are you a sin? You answer yes whenever you attack. For by attack do you assert that you are guilty and must give as you deserve. And what can you deserve but what you are? If you did not believe that you deserved attack, it never would occur to you to give attack to anyone at all. Why should you? What would be the gain to you? What could the outcome be that you would want? And how could murder bring you benefit? Sins are in bodies. They are not perceived in minds. They are not seen as purposes but actions. Bodies act and minds do not, and therefore must the body be at fault for what it does. It is not seen to be a passive thing, obeying your commands and doing nothing of itself at all. If you are sin, you are a body, for the mind acts not. And purpose must be in the body, not the mind. The body must act on its own and motivate itself. If you are sin, you lock the mind within the body, and you give its purpose to its prison house, which acts instead of it. A jailer does not follow orders, but enforces orders on the prisoner. Yet is the body prisoner, and not the mind. The body thinks no thoughts. It has no power to learn, to pardon, nor enslave. It gives no orders that the mind need serve, nor sets conditions that it must obey. It holds in prison but the willing mind that would abide in it. It sickens at the bidding of the mind that would become its prisoner. And it grows old and dies, because that mind is sick within itself. Learning is all that causes change. And so the body, where no learning can occur, could never change unless the mind preferred the body change in its appearances to suit the purpose given by the mind. For mind can learn, and there is all change made. The mind that thinks it is a sin has but one purpose, that the body be the source of sin. To keep it in the prison house, it chose and guards, and holds itself at bay, a sleeping prisoner to the snarling dogs of hate and evil, sickness and attack, of pain and age, of grief and suffering. Here are the thoughts of sacrifice preserved. For here guilt rules, and orders that the world be like itself, a place where nothing can find mercy, nor survive the ravages of fear, except in murder and in death. For here are you made sin, and sin cannot abide the joyous and the free, for they are enemies which sin must kill. In death is sin preserved, and those who think that they are sin must die for what they think they are. Let us be glad that you will see what you believe, and that it has been given you to change what you believe. The body will but follow. It can never lead you where you would not be. It does not guard your sleep, nor interfere with your awakening. Release your body from imprisonment, and you will see no one as prisoner to what you have escaped. You will not want to hold in guilt your chosen enemies, nor keep in chains to the illusion of a changing love the ones you think are friends. The innocent release in gratitude for their release, and what they see upholds their freedom from imprisonment and death. Open your mind to change, and there will be no ancient penalty exacted from your brother or yourself. For God has said there is no sacrifice that can be asked. There is no sacrifice that can be made. We are reminded in this section that all attack and judgment is merely projected self-guilt. One never begrudges the other for their shortcomings, but always for one's own. By projecting the wrong onto another, one hides the recognition of the wrong being in oneself. For the innocent do not attack. When the blame is inward, one sees it everywhere outside oneself, and one attacks it there. For one must give as one receives, and having received one's own self-condemnation, one will offer the same blame to the world. One blames the other's bodies for its actions, and sees them as a body, overlooking the mind that had brought about the body's actions. And one's own body is seen as sinful and made prisoner to guilt. Yet in innocence one can free the body, and in so doing releases all others from guilt, limitation, and loss.